All right, guys, before I get to like creating content for the pages, one thing that I want to do is kind of talk to you about setting up a menu so that you can start seeing what your page looks like. And basically you can go to Appearance and Menus. And these menus may change as you change from theme to theme, so just please keep that in mind. But I'm going to create a header menu. And what I'm going to do is add all the pages except for the terms of use and privacy policy, which I could add in the footer. I can create a footer menu and put those in there. I'm going to go ahead and add that to the menu. Then I'm also going to add a custom link back to the home page. So I'm just going to grab that link and we're just going to call that home. So now what you're going to need to do is rename these to something a lot shorter because you don't want big old menu pages. And actually this home link is even unnecessary. If I go to settings and general, I'm going to leave this page for a second. Just make sure we get this right. Go to reading and you're going to set the front page and you're going to do a static page. And that's going to be our main keyword, spray foam applications for insulation. I believe there's attics, homes, companies, so it was this one. And full text, let's go ahead and save changes. So that's going to make that our home page link. And I believe that's, yeah, settings saved. So now I'm going to go back to Appearance, Menus. I'll probably have to start from the start here. So yeah, go ahead with your header, and now we're going to add all our pages to the menu. And then here we're going to have to create a little bit better of menu titles. So if you just click on the down thing, spray foam applications for insulation in Edmonton, that's our H1 tag, remember? This is just going to get turned into home. And then home insulations, we can do something like that so you don't confuse the word home with your home. So we can do home insulations, and then we can do attic insulations. Obviously it's Edmonton, they don't need to know that. And then companies and contractors, we can do even something short, companies. And then of course you're going to want to create a nice order of things, so we're just going to pull that up there. So our menu is basically going to have 4 links on it: a home page, home insulations, attic insulations, and companies. And actually I'm going to actually turn that to contractors. Sounds a little better to me. I'm going to apply that as my primary menu, and I'm going to save it. Now remember, we're still working in the WordPress default theme of 2015. So now I'm going to go ahead and visit our site and see what we have. And you can see we have home, home insulations, attic insulations, and contractors. So if I click this, it'll obviously take me to the home page. If I click home insulations, we're on the home installations page. Here's the attic installations page, and then we have the companies and contractors page. Obviously no content in them, and we're gonna clean up these menus and stuff, but I just wanted to mention that to you guys to create your menus after your pages are created. I think it's pretty important. The other thing you can do is if you want to get a really quick site indexing, which I mean you may or you may not want to. I find that when I'm doing my sites, I don't usually use this trick, but it does work for getting really fast indexings. And you can just put a little bit of content on the page. What you can do is we're going to go to the front page. We're going to insert a YouTube video. Actually, sorry, first thing we're going to do is install a plugin called Video Sitemaps, and I've already done that. Simple video sitemap generator, and you can see it right here. So now next, once that plugin is installed, we're going to go to all our pages. We're going to go to the home page. We're going to edit that. And all we're going to do is add a YouTube video. We're not going to add any content yet. So we're going to do spray foam insulation Edmonton as our search. And we have do-it-yourself spray foam insulation of Pr0Macy spray foam. I want something a little more targeted to Edmonton if I can find it. But I can't, so that's fine. We'll just use this one. That's good. We want the autoplay off. Okay, so we're going to insert and close that. And we're going to update that page. And then we're going to go and do the same thing to the other pages. So we're going to put a video on each of the pages that we want to have indexed very, very quickly. We find that when you put a YouTube video on a page, it's just really fast to index. So here we're going to do spray foam attic insulation. I'll just say spray foam attics. So spray foam insulation nightmare, do-it-yourself spray. We already have that one. How to insulate your attic with foam. So we'll use this one because it is attics. So we're going to insert that and update it. Now we're going to go back and do the last two ones. You can see how quick this is. Insulation companies and contractors. So we're going to edit this page. Insert a YouTube video. So we're just going to do spray foam contractor Edmonton. Flat roof replacement, so we have flat roofing, roof repairs. So we don't really have anything in Edmonton, so I'm just going to remove that to create at least a relevant video. So spray foam insulation, the intelligent choice. So we're going to insert that and update it. And then our final page was, I believe, the home insulation one. I skipped over one. So we're going to insert a YouTube video here. Home insulation, spray foam. See if we can't get another unique video. We're going to just do this one since it's a nice, unique one. So we have 4 different videos on each of our pages. Well, 1 video on each of our 4 pages. So go ahead and update that. And now we can go to our video sitemap. And we're going to definitely do our pages, and we're going to create a sitemap. And you can see it was created correctly, and you can view a copy of the sitemap here. And there you see it. And that's it. That's really all we need to do. So I'm going to show you the date and time again, just so you can see what time this is done at. I'm going to refresh this page. So it's now 2:14 p.m. on Wednesday, December 16th. So we're going to watch how fast this site indexes using that YouTube video trick. And in the next video, we're going to start ordering our content and getting that in. All right, one of the last things I'm going to do before I end this for the day, and I'll show you the date and time once again. Just refresh that. Not very much longer, 2:33, is I'm actually going to we're going to add our schema markup right now to the page so that when Google indexes it, it actually is going to pick up the schema markup as well. So the business name, we're going to actually use the keyword, the EMD keyword. So spray foam insulation Edmonton. Description, we're going to use a really nice description. Top spray foam insulation company in Edmonton. We can insulate homes, basements, attics, that's my dog, attics, and more. Please call us today for a free quote. So I can do a nice description there. Website URL is just a copy and paste. Your email address. So for the email address, you have to decide whether you want to use the Gmail account or the other one. I suggest using the Gmail account that we created. And there it is right there. Because that Gmail account is actually going to be associated to all of your social accounts that we'll build later on. Telephone, we don't need to do anything because we don't have one yet. We will update that later on. So we can go ahead and click save on that. You can see successfully saved our JSON LD settings. Social accounts we don't have yet. We will build these out eventually in order to rank a lot better. Our address, we don't have a full address yet, but we do know we're going to be located in Edmonton, Alberta. So we just don't have a zip or a street address, so that's okay. We'll do a schema markup for the place we're in. And you can see the geolocation is going to send us the maps, has sent us into Edmonton, which is great. And now we can validate our schema just to make sure it's good. And we're going to run a validation test. And boom, valid markup schema detected. So that's perfect. So we have our schema markup in there. So when Google does index the page, it's actually going to index it with schema. So one thing I hope to show you guys is that when this site first indexes, how fast it indexes, number one, and how high it indexes. Because remember, we don't even have any content on it, and there is a chance that it'll index before I'm able to get the content on it. But we'll definitely see what happens. So there you go. I am going to be done for the day for sure with this one. So the last step was adding that schema markup in with Qzx900 Pr0J3Ct, and hopefully you guys are enjoying this video series, and I will see you tomorrow to do the content. All right, bye-bye. Hey everyone, so in this video we're going to go over ordering content, and I stopped shooting videos when I ordered the content, or when I was getting the content order. So everything is already done by the time I'm shooting this video, but I'll just kind of go over the ordering process. Obviously, you know, if I go to my pages, we had 4 pages that we needed to order content for: attics, home insulation, insulation companies, and then the front page, spray foam, which was targeting our main keyword. The other 2 pages were automatically generated, of course. So if I click on my articles tab, you can scroll down and you can see here's the 4 articles that I had ordered, and they were all ready to go, and I've already inserted them. But to order them is pretty easy. I used I need articles. I would just put in the keyword. So say for instance, you can see right here for the home page one, my article keyword was spray foam insulation Edmonton. For my attic page, it was attic insulation Edmonton. For my homes page, it was home insulation Edmonton. And then for my companies and contractors, that keyword is a little more difficult, so I had to be a little bit more creative, and I kind of went more with how to choose a spray foam insulation company and contractor, because that page on my website is more of like an informative page, but I still wanted to target those keywords because anyone searching for spray foam insulation companies or spray foam insulation contractors Edmonton, I still want to grab those leads to my site. So this became kind of a helpful article. So all I did was, guys, order these articles. My minimum word counts were 500. I like to use the guaranteed 4 or 5 star writers only, just because I want to make sure I'm getting good content. That is, of course, an option for you guys. So it's an extra 30 cents per 100 words. We have all the extra costs laid out here. And then the style fee, I also use that if you want to describe the angle. Or sorry, I didn't use that one, but if you want to use that, describe the angle, or if you want to basically give more information about what to do on the article, they're going to charge you an extra 30 cents per 100 words. So it's an extra $1.50 for a 500 word article. So that's if you want to use it. Typically though, what I just do is use my keyword and my 4 or 5 star writer only, and about a 500 word article. So that's how you can order that. And obviously, guys, play around with this. If you want to get guaranteed 24-hour delivery for an extra $1.50, if you're in a rush job, you can do that. An extra $1.50 for the 4 or 5 star writers, an extra $1.50 for in-depth research step in. This one might be a really good one. What this actually is your writer has to actually go into in-depth research. So if you were in a pretty crazy market, something really odd that nobody really knew about, you might want to have your writer go out and research first, so you could pay for that. And these are just going to increase the effectiveness and quality of your article. And then the style fee allows you to add specific instructions. So I did that for each one, and then they were all approved. And what I did from there is pretty simple. So like for instance, the spray foam insulation one, once it was ready, you can just click on the WordPress button and the article loads up with a title and an article body. Now, if you don't like anything, of course, you can come in here and make any edits that you want. You can create your article title and everything like that. You can turn on spin tax or turn it off. I typically leave it off. Like I said, I like to have good quality content. And you can read it through your article here, and then once it's ready, all you have to do is, of course, I already had my pages created, because you remember I create kind of the skeleton of my site. So what I did is I click on, I want to insert it into an existing page. and then of course it'll ask you what page do you want to insert it into, and then I add it to the spray foam applications for insulation Edmonton. That's my home page. And then all I did is click on update, and that inserted my content as plain text. Okay. What this little switch is for is to append. So if you already had existing text on your page and you wanted this this article to add to what you already have there, you would turn this on. If this is left off, this article will actually overwrite anything that you already have on your page. So just remember whether you have an empty page or a page with content on it. And if you have a page with content on it and you want to keep it, make sure to turn the append on. So once I do update, I'm not going to actually update because it's already there. Once I hit update, that would insert all the content into the page for me. And I'll go into edit. And the content was actually edited. Now I have the editor on it, but the content was actually inserted blank. And then, of course, the site was handed off to my webmaster to be designed. So I'm just going to click Nope here. And that's how the content was edited. And then I can go in and create like H1s if I want, or bold text, underline text, all that sort of stuff. So that's the process that I use for each article. And repeat it 4 times, and you are done with the article. Now, one of the things that I did want to share with you guys was things like interlinking your pages, because I do think it is pretty important. And I'm just going to load this. And I'm not sure if I can do it in this one because it's a page builder now. The site has already gone a lot into a lot of a different area. All right, so I was just able to load the visual tab here, and it's already creating a lot of short codes. The article would actually be pasted in quite nicely. You would just see the information. And the one thing that I want to add when you guys are adding content is it is kind of good to link from one page to another page. I know we've done it in the menu already, but if you want to do it from within the content, one thing you can do is use your short code keywords, and you can see that I have my other directories here, like my other pages. This is my home page, my attic page, my home insulation page, and my company's page. So if I wanted to link, to the companies and contractors page, I could find some text within here that makes sense to link over to that page. I didn't actually do it on this website, but it is a good idea to interlink from one page to another, just so that you're keeping your link juice flowing. So for instance, let's say I had just right here, I wanted to create a link to a companies and contractors page. I could do so there, and you can see the anchor URL is already loaded. And I'm going to go ahead and click on OK, and you can see that it inserts that link for me. And what it will have as an anchor text is actually this keyword, insulation companies Edmonton. So if you want to interlink using really keyword-rich anchor text that link to internal pages on your site, that's definitely something that's good for you guys to do. Like I said, I haven't done it on this site, and it did work out, but I do recommend finding a way that you can link from one page to another page in your site. And it really doesn't matter like the pattern that you use, guys. Just be creative, link from one page to another, to another, to another, just making sure that all pages are linking to at least one other page and that you have a full, pattern. Otherwise, you can create silos if you want to, but these sites that I'm teaching you aren't really quite big enough to create a silo. So I just wanted to show you guys that stuff. That's how I ordered my content and inserted it. And in the next video, we are going to talk about the backlinking of the site, because once all the site was done and the content was uploaded, we definitely wanted to start adding some backlinks to see some ranking improvements. Okay, talk to you soon. All right, guys, so in this video, I want to talk about the backlinks that I use to get some pretty good rankings for this website. And as you can see, I kind of have a spreadsheet here loaded up, and this is kind of an example of the overall spreadsheet that I use to track the PBNs that I use, as well as a lot of the information about the sites that I link to. So I'll just kind of go over each category one by one. Obviously, PBN is the PBN site that I use. DA and PA are actually the domain authority and page authority, so that's a Moz metric for the PBN. This is the date that I built the link. So you can see I started building links for the site on January 14th, and we built 4 links. Actually, my girlfriend did this for me. She runs my PBN. So she built 4 links in between the period of January 14th and January 25th. So 4 links over those 11 days. This is the anchor text that was used on the PBN. So, you know, we linked first with the word home insulation. Then we linked with the URL, then we linked with spray foam, and then we linked with insulation contractors in Edmonton, Alberta. So we kind of stayed really far away from spray foam insulation Edmonton, which was our main keyword. We did do spray foam here, and we did get Edmonton here. So this is the domain target, and I'll show you why I used this in a bit, but this is the URL target. This is the exact page on the site that was linked to. And then of course this was a post, and then our target keyword for each page would be, this is just extra information, you don't really need to put this in there, but this would be the target keyword that I'm targeting for this page, like the main keyword that I'm targeting, and this would be my current position when the link was built, the top position that I've achieved, and then any notes. So what I'll actually do for you guys is I'll create, I'm going to leave this spreadsheet the way it is so that, and give you guys a copy so that you can look at things. And I'll show you right now as well what this domain target is for. So as you can see here, this is what the spreadsheet would look like. And here's pool resurfacing from the rank and rent guide. I pulled in 3 links that I built out of there. And the reason I use domain target is because I don't always link to the home page. Sometimes, like as you can see here, I'll link to inner pages. But adding the domain target just makes it easy for me to set a filter. So if I want to look at all the links that I built for Pool Resurfacing Phoenix, I just set my domain target to Pool Resurfacing Phoenix, and it shows me all the Pool Resurfacing Phoenix links. And then that way over here, the URL target is actually what I link to. So you can see there was 2 sent to the home page and 1 was sent to an inner page. So that's just stuff I do for a filter. And I also have a filter on the PBN. So when I'm using multiple PBNs, you know, if I wanted to look at all the links that I built off of this PBN, I could just filter it by that PBN. So you guys can actually see a few of my PBNs here, but not all of them are open. Some of them are going to be blocked by Spider Spanker. You won't be able to actually see them. But I will show you what one of my links looks like. I'd be happy to do that. So I'm just going to pause the video and go load up that page and show you what this actual, I'll do a spray foam one actually. So I'll show you the first link that we built, what that looks like, and then I'll be right back. All right, so this is the PBN Qzx saw-in tool, and you can see the first article is the importance of keeping your house insulated. And we just thought Qzx saw-in tool was actually a good PBN because this used to be like kind of a tool store in Sussex, which is kind of not really good regionally wise, but content and relevancy wise, it was actually a pretty good domain. So you can see we just created an article with some pictures. Also, it was linked out to some authority sites on the topic. And then here you can see home insulation was the keyword. If I click on this, you'll see that's the link that actually led to the blog. So that's one of the PBN links and how those look. I'll show you another one here in just one moment. All right, here's another post on a PBN. So this PBN was milliesupply.com. Used to be a military goods website. So the way I've always done my PBNs is that I buy them and I actually keep all my posts related to the original content. So even though now I'm linking to a spray foam insulation site, I'm linking from a military supply company site. So what I try and do is create an article that connects both of those dots so that I still get a relevant article on an irrelevant blog. And you can see the article that was chosen here is Dry, Stronger, Noise Barrier Barracks. So they're talking about the kind of the building materials that were used to build barracks for the military. And once again, you can see it's just another typical article, has a YouTube video, a picture, authority link, and then of course here you can see the second anchor text, which is a link straight to the homepage of the site using the actual URL. So those are 2 examples of the links that were built. So now what I want to show you is how the backlinks that we built affected the rankings of Spray Foam Edmonton, now that you know kind of how we keep track of our backlinks. But as I mentioned, from January 14th to January 25th, which is an 11-day period, we built a total of 4 backlinks from some decent
some decent power PBNs from my own private PBN network. And now let me show you guys how that affected rankings basically. So if you can remember, guys, we registered and actually built this entire domain. If you go back through all the videos, you'll see that we actually built the domain all in a day. So we registered it December 16th, 2015, and then basically built the skeleton without the content. The content was added a couple, maybe 2 or 3 days later once it was all written and ready. And we can see this is December 20th. So our main keyword on google.com, spray foam insulation Edmonton, we actually debuted at number 33 on Google, which is really, really great for a 4-day-old site that's brand new. And then you can see right away, we've seen lots of other sites. It dropped right away and then rebounded for a few days. And then I think we added content in this period, and you can see that content really did affect the rankings. And then it kind of started dropping off a little bit. And what I wanted to see is kind of a little bit of stability. So once I had like a tiny bit around here, this is when we started the backlinking activity. So if I go back to my sheet here, you can see first link was built on the 14th. And if I go back to my graph, January 14th is actually this day. So from January 14th to January 25th, that 11-day period, so I'll show you January 25th is right here, we started building our links. So we built 4 links, and you can see that the ones that we built on maybe the 14th and the 19th started adding power really fast to the PBN. And then we kind of flatlined here, guys, and didn't do much at all. And so it's like those links, you know, kind of flatlined for a little bit while. And then all of a sudden you can see on February 15th, we had a huge boost from 15 all the way to number 4. And then it's kind of stayed solid. It's kind of pushing itself towards number 3 as well. And I believe what this increase came from is just kind of the PBNs kind of released the rest of their power, because they do take a little bit longer to reach the full effect of the domain authority. They take a while to transfer. So that's why we saw a big jump there. So if I even go to the same main keyword on the google.ca engine, you'll kind of see almost a similar pattern. We were crawling along really nicely, and then around February, this one was February 20th, we went from 48 to 18. And this one was on February 19th. So within a day, you see those big jumps. Also, a reverse version of the keyword Edmonton spray foam insulation instead of spray foam insulation Edmonton. Same thing. You saw almost the same kind of up and down as spray foam insulation Edmonton. And then it kind of flatlined and then just really, really bumped up all the way to the first page. So it's like that PBN just finally released all its juice, and that shot us all the way up. You can see number 3 on google.com for that keyword. And then as well as all the keywords, if we really just scroll through this list, you can see all the keywords received a really big boost around the same time. Even Edmonton foam, like shorter tail keywords, are starting to getting a boost. This one's been climbing steady. This is foam Edmonton, which is a lot harder of a keyword. Foam Edmonton could mean quite a few things. On google.com though, it's doing really, really well. We expect the .ca to follow. Same thing with Edmonton spray foam, it's on its way up. So you can see generally over all the keywords that we're targeting and that were set up in the projects page, absolutely everything is moving up. And you can see we do have quite a few page 1 rankings, and the ones that aren't page 1s yet are moving really, really quickly into page 1. So that's another page 1. This one's on its way up. This one's moved into page 1. You can see we're up to number 3. Edmonton insulation on google.com is moving up. We're not ranked on google.ca yet, but I expect to see that follow the .com. So as you can see, all keywords did receive a benefit from the 4 links. So what you can take from this, guys, and through all the training up until this point, is that schema is going to do a lot for you. Like, you're doing your keyword research properly, and then setting up your sites properly, you know, adding good content and adding schema is going to help you really, I'm going to go back to this main keyword. It's going to help you really set yourself up to do the right things with your PBN. So, you know, we added schema on the very first day we registered, built the site, and added schema, and debuted at number 33 4 days later. And within a couple of weeks, you know, we were still sitting around the same place. We dropped a little bit and started building backlinks, and that boosted it up really, really high. And then of course, you know, PBN links, after we only added 4, but they all released their power within 3 to 4 weeks, which is pretty normal for PBN. Schema's a lot faster, as you can see. But once the PBNs released all their power, what we ended up with is a bunch of page 1 rankings, including our main keyword on google.com, as well as a whole bunch of other keywords. And I'm just going to load that backlink sheet one more time. This is why on-page optimization is so important. It's so that when you do go to do something difficult like off-page optimization, and that's basically building your backlinks, you lessen the amount of work that you have to do. You increase the efficiency of the PBN links that you do use. So you can see, whereas one time this may have taken certain people 10 to 15 links plus some social profiles and maybe some citations, we were able to hit page 1 for multiple keywords with just 4 PBN links and some good on-site optimization. So that's kind of how we rank our sites really quickly. And just one more thing I want to look at for you guys and see how long it took us to actually hit page 1 for a keyword. So we started the site December 16th and we crossed into page 1 on February 4th. So that's just a little over 6 weeks. Yeah, just like 6 or 7 weeks to get to page 1, which is pretty amazing, especially because I didn't really do the content stuff like that. And then we waited a while to start backlinking. So this could have been done faster. But of course we were going through the launch and stuff like that of Qzx900 Pr0J3Ct in this period. So that's why things kind of got left behind a little bit there. But it definitely, this is an extremely strong case study to show you guys the absolute power of doing on page correctly, adding schema, and then just a handful of backlinks, and you're going to get your rank and rent sites all the way up to page 1. So that's it for the videos on this week's coaching. Next week, we're going to go into actually PBN training, how to find PBNs, how to buy PBNs, how to set them up. Or if you would rather not control your own PBN, then we're going to teach you guys how to rent PBN links and find people that sell PBN links so that you can kind of start ordering these super powerful links to your own sites. And I will talk to you guys next week.